We're back at Connie's Kitchen at Treetop Lodge here in Oxford, and you're watching us on OCTV. Now today I'm going to make something I hadn't made in a long time, and my husband mentioned it last week. The recipe originated in some little paperback recipe book that my daughter picked up, I think, at a dollar store when she was little. It's simple, but it's luscious, and it's very tasty for this time of year. And I'm going to make the simple version. I'm not going to. It's ravioli in a walnut pesto sauce with cream. So I'm going to soften some butter a little bit because that's part of our sauce. And you know, everything goes better with butter. Now I'm not making the ravioli by hand today, but soon I will. Actually, I have a way to make raviolis without using pasta, and they're wonderful and they're lighter and they're delicious. So we'll be doing that soon. There we go, nice and soft without melting. Okay, so close up. First thing I need to do is take my nice fresh basil. I don't know, I like basil all year long, but somehow in the winter, when everything else is kind of losing its smell and it doesn't smell and taste like it does in the summer, something about fresh basil, which is probably why I like it so much in this recipe, is it just gives you that burst in your mouth. So I'm just going to take some of these leaves. I already washed them down, patted them dry. And I'm going to throw them in my chopper with some walnuts. Now, you could do this whole sauce in a food processor, which I don't have and I don't want. You could do it in a chopper, but I'm afraid it would just get too fine, and I don't want to lose the integrity and the texture of the nuts and such. So I'm going to use my handy dandy little chopper that I love so much. I'm going to throw in some basil, and this will be enough for like one bag if you buy the bags of frozen ravioli. And that's about 3 ounces of walnuts, and I don't know, it all comes down to taste. Probably about 3 ounces of basil. We'll throw that in and let that do its thing. Oh, the smell now. Cannot beat it. So that's where we are now. Check to make sure I don't have any stems in there. And look at that. Look at that, the color and the texture. We're going to pour it right on in here. And now, because I get a little smarter each time we do this, I'm going to turn my water on. It's kind of hard to cook pasta if you don't have boiling water. So let's put all this aside. Oops. Alrighty. So this is the start to our sauce right here. To this we're going to add about 1/3 of a stick of butter. And what's going to happen is the butter will be kind of the binder. And one of the nice things about this particular dish is that you can make it up the day ahead, throw it in the fridge, the butter kind of solidifies, but it's really great to warm up in the microwave because as soon as the heat hits it, the butter releases again, and then you come back to that nice, creamy sauce. Look at that. I mean, it's simple. Oh, it smells so good. All right, so we'll start working the butter around. It's going to be kind of stiff, but that's fine because we have other ingredients to add. So it kind of comes up to this consistency at this point. Just kind of want to get it all started. Like anything else, you don't want to overmix. All right, I'm going to throw in some nice shaved Parmesan. All these smells. I'll tell you what, you have to come up here so that you can smell what I cook, because we haven't figured out a way to get it on TV yet. And I think I lost my olive oil. Give me a moment. I did lose my olive oil. Now this is where a food processor or a pulser would come in handy, because you want to alternate when you're adding, which is basically heavy cream. If I can get the carton open. And olive oil. So first I'm going to work in my Parmesan a little bit here. Again, it's just kind of a thick paste at this point. I'm going to add just a dash of salt and pepper. I'm using my pink Himalayan salt again. You see, I'm just not adding much. Just enough to brighten the flavor there. Oh. All right, now this is a consistency thing. I can't really give you a measurement because it just Just kind of keep blending back and forth until you get a nice consistency that will coat your hot raviolis. So there we've got some cream in. This, by the way, is not what you would call a healthy meal, but it's also not something you'd have 7 nights a week. So once in a while, you want to be a little indulgent. That's a good way to do it. See now it's picking up the liquid. What's going to happen when it hits that hot ravioli is the cheese and the butter is going to melt. And it's wonderful. And we'll throw together a salad and maybe some nice Italian bread with some roasted garlic. Does that sound like a good lunch or a good supper? So there we go. Just going to add a little bit more. Like I said, it's just kind of eyeballing. It really ends up just being a couple of ounces of each. But if you try to add it all at once, it can get heavy to one side or the other and you don't get a nice blend. And the blend is very important. And the nice thing about this, you notice I'm doing it right in a casserole dish. So if I'm preparing this to have tomorrow or even later today, I'll mix it all up, put the lid on, stick it in the fridge. When I'm ready to go, I can take the lid off and throw it in the microwave or leave the lid on and put it in the oven at about 300. And it just reheats because everything basically is cooked at that point. So you just want to keep watching and make sure that you're getting everything blended in. There we go. Look at that. Is that beautiful? And the smell. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm listening to my water behind me because when you're cooking with your back to your stove, you always have to listen to your food and what you're doing. So we're almost to a boil there. And I think I'm going to cream this down just a little bit more because I want that sauce to be really gooey. But you see, this is an 8-ounce container and I haven't even used half of it. So, after you've done this once or twice, you can kind of do your own thing, add different things, try different nuts, different herbs. It's really a basic butter cream sauce that we've just added things to and made a completely different flavor. But I'll tell you what, once you've tasted this, it will definitely go on your list of favorites. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the pasta in and get that started. And when we come back, we'll be ready to start mixing. And you'll be very envious that you're sitting at home and you're not sitting here in the kitchen, because anybody who's sitting here in the kitchen gets to eat. I rarely have leftovers when I do this show. Interesting. So, by the way, you're watching episode 11. I'm very proud of that, of Connie's Kitchen here at Treetop Lodge. And we've got a lot going on, and I want to cook for you. So come on back and join me in a couple minutes, and we'll have the pasta in the water and ready to go. Okay? See you soon.
Hello, I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
And together, Dave and I host a program called Minutes by Minute. We discuss what local Oxford and Addison politicians and appointed representatives are doing to make your life happy or miserable by passing laws, ordinances, and regulations that affect you.
We believe that within those political decisions is humor. You just have to hunt for it. For example, did you know there's a local ordinance that allows people to shoot off fireworks 24 hours a day, 365 days a year? But since they can do it, nobody wants to do it.
Catch us Monday through Friday on Charter 191 and ATTU Verse 99, scheduled for 7 a.m., 11 a.m., and 10:30 p.m., or go to our webpage, occtv.org, and click on Programs. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny. Each week, catch us on Minutes by Minute.
Don't miss it.
Hey, you're back. For today, because I didn't make my ravioli from hand, I just used the basic, this is ricotta and Romano cheese ravioli. It's frozen. It goes into the water frozen. And that has a really nice texture for a sauce like this. It's cooking right now. Hasn't quite come back up to a boil yet. But once it does, it doesn't take long. So I kind of have to keep an ear on it while I'm going here. So I thought it would be fun to toast up some nice fresh Italian bread. And earlier today, I used my garlic roaster, which as you can see has seen better days. When Chris and I were first married, we bought this, and we would make up this pot of garlic. And some evenings, and I think I've mentioned this on the show before, instead of dinner, we'll just sit down, have a couple of cocktails, That's the heating element. And have hors d'oeuvres. And one of our favorites is just the roasted garlic on toast. So I think that would be a nice thing to go with our pasta. So, done with that for right now. I'm going to take the bread, throw it in the toaster oven, get a little toast on it, and then we can spread it with what basically amounts to a butter at this point, although it's just pure garlic. And the nice thing about the garlic, there it goes, is once it's roasted like this, and it goes in this little roaster for about 30 minutes, a lot of the bitter edge of the garlic that if you just ate a clove, that's gone. The natural sugar comes out, it kind of caramelizes, and it's wonderful. So, we've got our bread going. Now you notice I always take the end off and then cut in. Now if I was at home, my husband would grab that end and eat it immediately. But I like to keep it with the bread, keep it from drying out until I get a chance to put it in a plastic bag, or everybody eats it and it's all gone. So we'll just set that aside for right now. And get this ready for, we're going to make a little salad. Put that over there for right now. We're waiting on our pasta and then we'll toss that. Get my colander ready so I can drain the pasta. I'll check that right now. It's funny, there's so many new kitchen gadgets on the market. And some of them, the new ones are great, like my chopper. I love my chopper. But I find myself going back to a lot of the old school. Like I said, this is 14 years old at least. This old knife my mother bought me back in the 70s. I think I've mentioned this on the show before. You had a choice at that time of the avocado or Harvest Gold. But I'll take this over a new one any day. And you see, they stand the test of time. Things you buy today, they don't last so long. I guess that's just planned obsolescence. Our ravioli is plumping up nicely. As I said, this doesn't take long. But on a future show, we will make ravioli together because that's very easy to do, and that's something the whole family can get involved with. So I enjoy that. So give my ravioli another moment while I rinse my tomato. Boy, tomatoes this time of year will break your heart. But this one had a nice smell, nice firmness, good color. So hoping that when we slice that up, we get a nice tomato flavor. But boy, there's nothing like tomatoes in the summertime in Michigan. It's something I really look forward to. All right, our pasta is ready to come off. Basically, the indicator is it is all risen back to the top and it's all plumped up. That's pretty much all it takes to cook it. You want to stand back from the steam and the drip. Whew. I should probably get a hot pad out. Sometimes I just keep talking and I kind of forget you guys are here. So if there's little delays, don't take it personally. That's just me. Kind of get lost in my own head in the kitchen. All right, now in this kind of pasta too, you want to get all that excess water out so it doesn't mess with your sauce. And now we're going to blend in. I don't just dump it all in because I want to coat it as we go. So, but you don't want to take too long to do it because the pasta will stick. I put a little bit of salt in the water. That was it. I didn't put any oil in. With pasta, the only opportunity you have to season pasta is salting the water. Once it's cooked, it's cooked. It will take on the flavors of the various things you're mixing it with. But the pasta itself won't have any kick unless you put just a bit, just a pinch of salt in the water. Look at that. This is so yummy. Quick look at my bread. Oops. See, you thought I forgot, but I was listening. Turn those over. Get the drawer jammed. There we go. And back to our mixing. And I'll tell you, when the heat hits this sauce and these smells come out, if you were standing right here with me now, you would agree. Look at that. Is that gorgeous? And depending on how much sauce you made, sometimes you might have a couple extra pillows left over, but don't overdo it, you know, because you don't want to stretch the sauce too far. And these won't go to waste. If I have any left over, I'll put them in the fridge and throw them together with something else tomorrow. And now I'm tossing these very gently because I don't want to break the raviolis. Look at that. And without intending to, we've created another meatless meal here. But this is so rich and hearty with the nuts and such. Oh, it's so good. So, if you, like me, I think on our last show we discussed the fact that I have steak with my husband every Friday night. So I try to come up with other meals during the week that aren't meat meals. Just thinking, I was going to make up a dressing for our salad. Maybe something a little on the sweet side. To think about that. I'd look in the pantry after we get this all tossed together. It's funny, I'm the only person up here most of the time, especially during prep and such. But things keep disappearing on me. So I'll take a look and see what I have and make sure I have everything I want to make a nice sweet, slightly sweet dressing. A kind of sweet and savory dressing. So there we go. Looks like we've got exactly the right amount of sauce to go with our pasta. If that isn't gorgeous. And look at how simple that is. This is something, like I said, make it up the day before, the night before. It's a great thing to have to just scoop some out and throw it on a plate for a quick lunch. But it's all fresh. Is that beautiful? Of course it's beautiful. Look at my beautiful pasta. Get some more sauce up there on the top. Ravioli with walnut basil pesto cream. Come back soon, we'll finish up the bread and we'll have a salad.
Our own backyard. Playing in it was always an adventure. The garden became the deepest, darkest rainforest. Running through the sprinkler was like shooting the rapids. The rustle of fallen leaves were ghosts in the graveyard, and the sandbox became the deep craters we walked on the moon. Our backyard is still here, promising more outdoor adventure than ever before. A 19 million acre playground that's pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
So I'm thinking about making a slightly sweet dressing, and I was thinking perhaps a little bit of soy, a little bit of balsamic, maybe a touch of honey, and that'll give us a little sweet to go with. We're making a radicchio and tomato salad to go with our pasta. So let me just get the honey. All right, this has been happening way too much because the honey sits right here and it's not here, and I don't know where my ingredients are going, but okay, when all else fails, we'll figure something else out for the salad. Got some pomegranate, some olive oil, a little bit of soy. That'll work. I wonder where my honey is. I don't know. Okay, got a nice fresh head of radicchio, nice rich peppery flavor, beautiful color. While I'm slicing this, I'll give you my usual spiel. Remember, you can find me up here at Treetop Lodge. We're on Facebook at Treetop Lodge Oxford. My email is stormy3958@att.net. My phone number is 248-933-4579. And we're working on a new fan page for Treetop and also our website. So, look at that. Look at the color. This smells so fresh. This has got as I said, a kind of a peppery taste, which will play nicely off the sweetness of the basil in the pasta. And it makes a really pretty salad. Set that aside for a moment. Now we'll find out if this tomato that we went looking for, oh, it's slicing nice. I never use this, when I slice it this way, I never use this part. It doesn't look as pretty and it can be a little bit harder to eat. So we're just going to do some nice thin slices. And excuse me just a moment. I'm going to plate this directly onto our plate. Let's do some radicchio. Oh, look at that red against the red. Is that rich? And let me see here. Set our tomato aside. It's a little bit large. I like to make things easy to handle. I mean, you may have to cut some things, but still like to make them easy to handle on the plate. Look at that. Is that beautiful? I didn't even plan all these shades of red. Oh, and you know what? That is a nice tomato. Slightly sweet. I'm going to put just a itsy bitsy bit of salt on there. A little bit of pepper. And we're going to dress it right on the plate. Pomegranate red wine vinegar. Slightly sweet. Not exactly honey, but you know, when your ingredients disappear. Just going to drizzle a little bit of that on there. I think we're going to leave the soy sauce off after all. And just a dash of the olive oil. And then just to be fancy, get the olive oil off my hands. And a little bit of Italian herb. It makes a mighty pretty salad. All right, we're going to set this aside. And my bread just came out of the toaster. And we are going to take this fresh roasted garlic out of my little roaster and spread it right on the bread, just like butter. Look at how beautifully caramelized that comes out. And even if you're not a big garlic fan, try this, because this is a different experience. I have done it in the past where I've roasted it and I put herbs and such in with it while it was roasting, which gives it another different flavor. But look at that, and garlic is so sweet. I don't recommend eating a fresh clove right off the clove, but when you do this with it, it's just wonderful. You can also take the full head, chop the top off, put it in the oven and bake it that way. This is just a little bit easier because my little roaster turns itself off and I don't have to worry about it overdoing. I think some Italian restaurants you go to now, they will serve you roasted garlic like this, right on the table. And it's just, that's a little bit of peel got in there. I have to talk to whoever's doing my garlic peeling, I guess. Oh, that would have been me. But that's all right. Look at how pretty that is. Nothing like it. And just because there's a little snitch there, look at how caramelized it is. Oh. Okay. Now we're gonna go ahead and plate up our pasta and we will be ready to serve. And we have our regular wine dinner scheduled monthly. They're becoming very popular, so if you want to call and check us out, do that soon. Don't delay. Next one is March 22nd, then April 19th, then May 17th. Still only $50 per person for a 7-course dinner. Wine with each course the Dean brings up from Oxford Wine and Beverage. Appetizers, dessert, and you get to enjoy it all at the lodge. Oh, is this beautiful? Is this beautiful? Don't you want to join me for dinner now? Look at this, the smell. Ah, all right. Cheese ravioli in a basil walnut pesto cream sauce, a fresh radicchio and tomato salad, just lightly drizzled with some pomegranate vinegar and a little bit of olive oil. And then our Italian bread, toasted and spread with the baked garlic. That is a wonderful meal. And that's what I'm having for lunch today. So, if you want recipes, call me if you need details or anything. But just basically call me about anything, because I'm the one you talk to about everything. So come back and join me again at the lodge for Connie's Kitchen, for the wine dinners, for whatever we have going on. In the meantime, be nice to each other. Say something nice to a stranger today. It'll surprise them. Enjoy the sunshine, and we'll see you soon.
You're watching OCTV, Oxford Community Television, serving Oxford, Addison Township, and the village of Leonard.
At Oakland County Parks and Recreation, we value what you value: family relationships, community connections, good health, environmental stewardship, and economic stability. Oakland County residents and businesses have invested in preserving nearly 7,000 acres of parkland. Since 1966, 13 parks and golf courses have been acquired, maintained, and improved. Oakland County parks and facilities are made possible by millage funds supported by Oakland County residents. For a home valued at $200,000, the homeowner pays less than $25 per year to support the Oakland County parks. With every generation, families create lifelong memories at Oakland County's award-winning parks. From exciting summer escapades and stories around the campfire to brisk fall walks on wooded trails and snowy winter outings, the outdoors beckons year-round. It's time to get up, get out, and get going at the Oakland County parks. Active recreation options abound. Cross-country ski or mountain bike on tree-lined trails. Scale the rock climbing wall. Get your kicks with soccer at several sports fields. Row or paddle a boat on 4 picturesque inland lakes. It's an easy journey. Most parks are just a short drive away. A quick tip: all our parks and golf courses end in Oaks. To find your favorite, just go to destinationoakland.com. Click to pick Oceans of Motion water parks at Red Oaks and Waterford Oaks, the Wint Nature Center at Independence Oaks, Teen Adventures, and even entertainment to go. When outdoor adventures on your list, there's fishing, beaches, boating, playgrounds, and seasonal hunting. The campgrounds at Addison Oaks and Groveland Oaks feel like being up north with plenty of recreation options. Want to get fit? Hit the trails. Oakland County Parks boasts more than 68 miles for strolling, walking, hiking and running, biking, or horseback riding. If the links are your lure, 5 golf courses, including Premier Course Lion Oaks, are conveniently located. Make Glen Oaks or White Lake Oaks your home course. Get an up-north feel at Springfield Oaks, or play a quick 9 at Red Oaks. Our recreation lineup rocks. Learn to swim. Experience an outdoor adventures camp. Take the fast track at BMX, or gain new lifelong skills. Everyone's included. Individuals with disabilities participate in dozens of adaptive opportunities, including a new fully accessible playscape, modified golf carts, and annual events. There's always something special going on at Oakland County Parks, whether it's a classic car show, the Oakland County Fair, a senior golf tournament, or the Ellis Barn Festival. Being green is an everyday practice with nature interpretive programs, wildlife habitat protection, reduction of invasive species, and stormwater management.